My wife gave birth to two little girls, and exciting, it's exciting. The hardest thing with twins, of course, is picking your favourite. You know, that's the hardest thing. I go for the one that's not crying a lot of the time. No, the hardest thing is the lack of sleep. That's what everyone says, don't they? The lack of sleep. I've been getting 3-4 hours sleep at night, so has my wife. And, famously, of course, Margaret Thatcher, she got by on 4 hours sleep a night. And that sort of goes some way to explaining why she was a proper miserable bitch, right? Because, honestly, right? It's right, isn't it? I sometimes wake up after 4 hours sleep and want to close a couple of minds. You know what I mean? That's how I'm right? Take milk off children, give it here. The one time you know you're not getting enough sleep, right? There's 2 times it happens. One time is when you look in the mirror and you can see what you're going to look like in 15 years' time, right? That's when you know you're not getting enough sleep. The other time is when you hear one of the most beautiful sounds in nature, bird song, okay, at 4:30, 5 a.m. in the morning, and all you can think of is, shut up. Shut your little beaky mouth. You little feathery bastard. That's when you need to have a lie-in at some point. Someone needs to come and relieve you. One of the things I found amazing while my wife was pregnant, and not amazing, that sounds bad, but is how much you actually fancy her while she's pregnant, okay? It's phenomenal. It just strikes blokes. You see your wife, I saw my wife, I think, whoa, yeah, whoa. Mainly because her boobs go massive, right? That's convinced me that God is a woman, because only a female would make those boobs the best looking they've ever been, yet too sensitive to do anything with. You forget yourself sometimes as well. I forgot myself. I remember coming one night, it was 2 a.m. I got into bed, I had to be up at 7. And my wife was out here, like, just before she popped, and she turned over, right, in the night. Beep, beep, beep. And she nudged me awake, complete mistake, but I forgot for a second, I just forgot myself, and I woke up, I went, oh, that's so frustrating. And she was up straight, bolt upright over me, eyes red in the darkness. Oh, frustrating, is it? Luckily, I had my wits about me, I went, just frustrating not being able to help you. I don't know where it came from, but I got away with it. She got angry at little things. We watched the film Superman, right? Now, I love Superman. She'd never seen it. She's from Derby, and I don't know if they've got a cinema there, to be honest. I think there was just one bloke on her street had a big telly, and that was it. And he just had one copy of Teen Wolf, and that was all he watched. So she's never seen any films, right? So I said, right, you got to watch Superman, it's a classic. And we were getting through loads of films and that while she was pregnant, bored and that. And we put Superman in, and we got about half an hour into it, and then the pause come on. I said, what's up? She went, I said, who? She went, Lois Lane. I don't know why she's talking like Bird and Maddie, my wife. Lois Lane. She is winding me right up. I said, why? She went, she has just been underwater for 15 minutes, unconscious, flown through the air at the speed of a bullet, lay on the ground, water's come out of her mouth, and now look at her. Her hair and makeup are still perfect, aren't they? She was really angry about it. But I sort of tried to appease her. I said, listen, that's because she's a Hollywood film star. She doesn't work at Greg's in Chorley. Right now, I shouldn't have said that. My wife's a supervisor. It was out of order, okay? No steak bakes for a week. I was starving.
But I got Sky TV now, which is excellent. You can pause live TV, just pause it. The people at home now can just pause it, and it's a perfect pause. Not the old sort of 1980s VHS pause. That was a very different story, wasn't it? You couldn't even see what you were watching in 1980s pause. People who weren't moving would start moving. Wasn't even moving in this scene. People in paintings would come to life. I'm in a painting! But then once you pause it, it's quite exciting because you can watch it back at like ×2 or ×6 or ×12 or ×30, which makes boring programs quite entertaining. Like at the tennis, you can forward the changeovers. Watching Andy Murray eating a banana in ×12 is quite exciting. I watched Deal or No Deal in ×30. It really whizzes along. I watch all TV. I watch TV just to slag it off, to be honest. Dragon's Den winds me right up. I know you're rich, dragons. You don't need to bring your cash with you. They sit there with cash on their tables. I'm so tremendously wealthy, all my bank accounts are full. I've had to bring additional funds with me tonight. What about you, Theopathetus? Have you got money on your table? Oh, I'm completely loaded. I've thrown money up onto my table, that's every time. What about you two dragons? Oh yes, you've got a lot of cash here. All right, bring in the first poor person, let's see what they've got. They come in trembling. Hello, dragons. Please, can I have some cash for the ideas in my brain? I feel sick just looking at poor people. Look at the state of her clothing. For that reason, I'm out. What about you, Theopathetus? Are you out? I will be out, but I'm going to humiliate the bitch for 15 minutes. Then I will declare that I too am out. I'd like to go on Dragon's Den with a shotgun. Just stand there, pointing it at each of them individually, till one of them goes, so what's your idea? Quite simple, put that cash in this bag, all right? You get no equity. I like some TV. I watch it till the bitter end, literally like the early hours of the morning, till the signing zone, the death zone. That's when you know it's probably time for bed, you know? And there's somebody in the corner signing. You feel a bit like, this isn't really for me. They almost look at you like, come on, you could have watched this in the day. It's probably bedtime for you. Deaf people have been asleep all day to stay up for this. Have some respect. I like it when there's no dialogue in the show and they watch TV with you. The other day I was watching the Blue Planet or something. This is a show with David Attenborough where they discover creatures from the depths of the ocean for the very first time. Literally fish that were only just discovered, and they were naming them on the show. So he was going, here we have the newly discovered Diplodocus. And the signing guy was going... He resorted to impersonating the fish. It was hilarious. The fish was swimming, he was just underneath going...
I'm freaking out. So the head hangs there for about 10, 12 minutes. Finally, the midwife says, it's almost here. It's time. If your wife gives one more push, he'll arrive. So my wife went, yeah. Baby went, I put the TV to mute. And I leapt across the front room. And I caught him. And I was the first person to make contact with our son. He was a little boy out, and he was there in my hands, all warm and new. And it's one of the most overwhelming things you will ever do. And I tell you now, I was in pieces. I was in floods of tears. My wife was crying. The midwife was crying. And your mind just becomes a mush. I mean, to this day, I can't explain why I did, what I did, next. It was so emotional. Maybe it's because I'm Welsh, I don't know. But I went... Well, thank God we hadn't cut the cord. He shot back. It was Junior Bungee. He ended up lying on the floor with all this umbilical cord snaking around the room back to his mother, yards of it. I thought, what the hell do we do now? I needn't have worried. Calm as a cucumber, the midwife walked over to my wife. She put her left foot on my wife's right foot and pressed hard. And just like a Hoover, the cord went... why we called him Henry.
You were excited about the release of Windows 7, weren't you? You're not normal, are you, Will? That's what it boils down to. And you worry me, and I'll tell you why. Yeah? Yeah? I mean, you're a nice lad. But what you're forgetting, and that everyone else here has remembered tonight, is that today is tomorrow's history, isn't it? Yeah? Think about it. Today is tomorrow's history. And yeah, history's written by the winners, Will. Yeah? French history books, of course, are blank from cover to cover. The point is... Yeah, and I'm worried, what if the world ended right now, ladies and gentlemen? What if the world ended right now? And it could happen. The ice caps could melt, we'd all be drowned, couldn't we, yeah? And someone could leave the taps on, we could all be drowned. The greenhouse effect could take effect, couldn't it? And the world would be plagued by a plague of tiny green unripe tomatoes. Yeah? It could happen. Yeah? Well, the Chinese, all of them, Chinese, all at once, all of the Chinese, all of them could jump up and down, like that. And crack the Earth's crust. It could happen, Will. Thing with you, Will, is I'm worried. What if the archaeologists of the future, in a million years' time, you know what archaeologists are like, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah? They dig a hole, they find one leather shoe, and then they can paint a picture of an entire bloody city based on the strength of that one leather shoe. What if, in a million years' time, they find you, Will, the sole surviving remnant of all human civilization? Yeah? They're going to think we're a bunch of wankers. It's not personal. It's for the sake of everyone else, my friends. Well, if in a million years' time they find you at the bottom, they find an asthma inhaler, a tub of E45 cream, a book of blank verse, some subtitled French films, and the manual for Windows 7. And they look at you and they look at us, and we will be judged. So, I'm offering you something, mate. What I want to do right now, for the sake of all mankind, is fix you. Right now, live on stage. Yeah? Up you come, Will. Round of applause for Will. Up you come, son. Come on, son. Of course you come, pal. Welcome. Welcome. Look at them all. It's Will, ladies and gentlemen. It's Will. Welcome. Yeah, you got any hobbies, Will?
I quite like tennis.
You quite like tennis?
Quite like tennis.
I've got a lot of work to do here, haven't I? You disgust me. Now,
It's a good game.
Shut up. Now, what we're going to do, it's dead simple. What we're going to do is we're going to do compare and contrast between me and you, right? Normal and Will. Right?
Okay.
You up for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so put your hands out in front of yourself like that. Yeah, like that, so everyone can see them. Yeah? That's it. Yeah? Now look at my hands.
Yeah.
Now look at your hands. Yeah? Now look at my hands. Now look at your hands. Now look at my hands. Now look at your hands. Now, tell me, Will, what have I got that you ain't?
You've got 2 rings on.
No, it's not the rings. But what's happening there, mate, is I'm pointing at the moon and you're looking at my finger. Can't see the wood for the trees. What I've got that you haven't is class, isn't it?
How so?
No, look, I'll sort you out, pal. Here, put this on. Put that on.
It's too big.
Here, put it on.
Which finger?
Here, shut your face.
Which finger?
Put it on. That one, you donut. There you go. And the other one. There you go. Yeah, and now, here we go. Let's sort you out. Yeah, you got rubber bands on and stuff, and hey, rubber bands. Yeah, to show how much money you give to charity. You arsehole. Hey, shut. Yeah. We're nearly there. Let's see it. Nearly. One last touch for you, Will. 1 second. Here we go, pal. How about this? Yeah. Put this on. There you go. Yeah, pop that on. Yeah. Calm yourself down, Kerry. There we go. Fantastic. Now take a look. You feel better. It looks better, doesn't it, Jamin? Yeah.
But I have developed a new hobby. Some of you probably already do this. I've started listening into people's conversations on the bus and the train. It's quite entertaining. And I was listening not long ago to 2 old ladies, and they were talking about what they would do if they were men for a day. And I thought, this is going to be brilliant, because pensioners are, by definition, bonkers. But I went out to lunch with a couple of my friends, and I thought, well, I'll ask them the same question. So my first friend, I said, what would you do if you were a man for a day? Without even thinking, she just went, I'd have a wank. Sounded like she needed to. She sounded awfully tense. But these old ladies, different generation to me and my friends, in their 80s, and one of them just said, Edith, what would you do if you're a man for a day. The other one said, no, in my luck, I'd get a Tuesday. And what can you do on a Tuesday? My second friend, I said, what would you do if you're a man for a day? She just said, I just do everything. And I thought she meant like in a sexual way. And I said, is that what you mean? Like you just do everything? And I said, is that what you mean? She went, no, just all the little jobs round the house. But I've been trying to go on a diet. I'm not really very successful. But I find that whenever I go shopping and I can't get into things, you know, when you try clothes on and you're the size you weren't expecting to be, I just come home and I put on a song, and the song is Big Girls Don't Cry. You know the song? There's a couple of versions of it. Big girls don't cry. Such a load of rubbish, that, isn't it? Big girls don't cry. Yeah, they do. Cry because they're fat, cry because they can't get a boyfriend, and they cry because there's no trifle left. But I was on holiday in Spain last year, and I'm bragging, I know, and outside the hotel was a lovely pool, and I wanted to go in the pool, of course I did, but I'm not overly confident with my figure in a swimming costume, and I was watching the women who were walking in the pool, and these were like tiny, you know, these wafer-thin, tiny women. And I thought, I'm not going to walk in with one of them. If I walk in with one of them, people are going to think I've bloody eaten one. And I wouldn't anyway, because there's no meat on them. So what I decided to do instead is just to walk in with the children, because kids are all really fat these days. If I walk in the same time as a 9-year-old boy who's got bigger tits than me, nobody's looking at me anymore. But like I say, I don't have kids, and most of my friends don't have kids, but I think if you ask any woman who doesn't have kids what would worry them about having kids would always be childbirth. It's quite a reasonable thing to worry about childbirth. From what I understand, it changes you downstairs, doesn't it? It changes you downstairs. I quite like my downstairs the way it is, thanks very much. Certainly don't want a bloody extension. But it's bound to change though, isn't it? Because you're forcing a person out. That's what you're doing. You're forcing a person out. I've never forced a person out. I forced a couple in. With a shoehorn.
Are any Welsh people out there? Tell them! Tell them how good it is now! Oh, it's not shit anymore! We spent millions, so it's not shit for you. That's the whole... Welsh people, where are you from? Swansea! Fair enough, it's shit. Yeah, quite right. Yeah. I'm trying to explain that the place has improved and you lob Swansea in just to... Lucky Swansea's still a desperate dump, isn't it? Let's face it. Devoid of any hope whatsoever, Swansea. Have you been? There's a sign on the way in that says, kill our children, not your speed, isn't there? I'm talking about places like Cardiff and the places that have... Yes! These places have improved. We've had development money. We've done Cardiff Bay. Have you been there? Go there on holiday. It's lovely. We've done it all up. You've got cafes and bars. You've got the sea down there now. It's amazing. True, down where the shit was, that's all sea now, most of it. And it's going to be amazing when they finish it. Has anybody seen the posters of what Cardiff Bay is going to be like when it's all done? It's not. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be people chatting. Laughing, texting, Welsh people these are presumably, having interesting conversations over dinner. We're all going to be a lot better looking by the time it's finished as well. You look out. Where they're going to get these people with fashionable glasses and teeth from in Cardiff, I got no idea. You've got to admire their optimism, haven't you? Fair play. Talking of optimism, you've got Cardiff Bay. I was there not long ago. Some of these restaurants, some of them have got tables outside. Al fresco dining in Cardiff. They're having a laugh on me. I tried to have a Twix at a bus stop in Wales a few years ago. It was too wet to eat, to be honest with you. Everybody's pretending it's Madrid. Come on, we'll sit outside. Your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it, for Christ's sake. Stop raining! You never get past your starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater. You give up. True, your gin and tonic's overflowing, the little umbrella's blown inside out. Turn it back into the wind! Turn it back into the wind! It's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the table. Spaghetti carbonara! Spaghetti carbonara! Sure, I'll get another one! I'll get another one! It's people throwing life buoys to their bread rolls. I'll pull you in! I'll pull you in! Peas being airlifted to safety. Oh, Wales is improving. Even the valleys. Go to the valleys on holiday. Even the valleys. They are. Shut your face. They're getting better. They're getting better, the Welsh. I did a gig in Pontypridd. Yeah, in the Welsh valleys. Were you there at the gig I did when there was a piece of sun-dried tomato on the stage? Not bullshit. In a real piece of sun-dried tomato. We couldn't even do the gig. Everybody was just staring at it. I couldn't get them back. Couldn't get their attention. That's not local to your area, is it? The sun-dried tomato. Hey, there was a pile-up in the valleys a few years ago because somebody mentioned satsumas. Did you read about that? Somebody's trod in that, haven't they? That's what's happened. Do you live here now, madam? Do you live here? Are you from the valleys?
My boyfriend is from the valleys.
Your boyfriend? It was probably him that trod in the sun-dried tomato and dragged it all the way back. That's what he probably stepped in the sun-dried tomato in London and took it all the way back to the... He must have been shitting himself on the way back. They'll kill you for that in Pontypridd, won't they? Get it off me, they're gonna kill me, they're gonna kill me. Ditch the shoe, ditch the shoe.